Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. I'm your host, Ed Nunez, along with producer Alden Iwani. Our very special guest today, West Las Vegas volleyball coach Stacy Fulgenzi. Her Dons are ranked second, 17-2 record overall, a district record of 3-1. And Coach, we meant to have you on last week. Sorry about that, but we apologize. But glad to have you on. Glad to have you on this morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, Coach, you know, you work under the tutelage of who I call the king of the North out there, Richard Tripp. He's your athletic director there,
Yes.
and former ProView announcer, broadcaster at New Mexico Highlands. And, you know, we miss him quite a bit at ProView. He's doing a great job at West Las Vegas. But, you know, you've got an extensive experience in coaching. And tell us a little bit about West Las Vegas. You guys were having a great season.
Oh, shoot. You know what? I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Are you there?
I apologize. It cut out there for a little bit,
Okay.
so I couldn't hear that first part of what you were saying.
Okay, so you're having a great season out there. Can you hear me now? Coach, can you hear me? I think she went out and cutting out here a little bit. Why don't we take a quick break, and we'll come back to the sports desk after these messages.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Handoff, Cam Dyer keeps it himself and runs right into the end zone for the touchdown.
The clock going, unofficial clock. 38, kicking it into space. It's in the area. Nice job. Kick, good. It's gold. St. Pius gold, if you will. Take shot down the right sideline. The intercepted. Is he inbound? He certainly is. He is.
The snap, here comes Posa, and he's brought down.
Field's going to have that in the back of his mind this time. And this time, there's no doubt. Eagles swallow up for the safety there. Unabated to the quarterback. Joseph Garcia comes in and makes the play.
Here it comes again. And that, he just kind of played a little sugar, little wheel.
Cut. There's Dallas at the 20, 15, 10, touchdown Academy. And Braun was hit as he threw.
At least this evening they are. Takahashi, play action pass. Airs it out, open, caught. Oh, what a catch. What an amazing catch by Jace Pitt.
And it's going to be a lot. He's always got blocks on the right side. 40, 35, 30. 25-20. Holloway is gone for a touchdown. We said he was due for it. There it is.
Yeah,
Dyer in Mr. Formation. Snap, fake handoff, throw left side. And Jaden Parsons down the sideline. Green grass in front of him. Will he get there? 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Bears.
Salazar's first made and attempted field goal. This is fielded at the 20-yard line. And it's handed off there. Look at all this space. Midfield and not looking back. Sideline and gone. Maybe down at the half-yard line. Touchdown! Ochoa takes it all the way back into pay dirt.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. I'm Ed Nunez, along with producer Alden Iwani. Back to our special guest. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. We apologize for. West Las Vegas volleyball coach Stacy Fulgenzi. Coach, welcome back to the show. I know you had a little bit of a little faux pas there on your end, but welcome back.
Thank you.
No problem, Coach. Technology happens, but let's get right to it. You know, you've got your Dons at 17-2 and 3-1 in district. You only lost to Valley and then to St. Mike's, and Valerie Sandoval at St. Mike's. Man, she runs a good program.
Yes.
You'll have a chance for a rematch next week. But tell us a little bit about, I read some of your numbers. I cover college volleyball at Western New Mexico, and you've got an impressive roster. Tell us a little bit about the Dons at your season so far.
Yes, well, it has definitely been an exciting season. To be 17-2 is something that we, we're very proud of. We've had to work really hard to get to this point. And, just some of the girls I'd like to highlight. First of all, Alexis Pacheco. She is one of our seniors that leads the team. She actually leads the Class 3A in digs, and I think she's number 3 in kills, if I'm not mistaken, in Class 3A. So she leads the state, and she has about, I guess, 351 kills. That's missing 1 game for stats. So she's doing an incredible job for us. She's an all-around player and just a complete leader on the team. And one thing I have to mention about Lex, anybody that knows her knows how humble she is for being such an amazing athlete. And she can do it all. And she is the most humble person. She's actually signed to play at Lubbock Christian University next year for softball. So that's her main sport. And so we're super proud of Lex. She's an amazing teammate and player to coach. We also have our setter, Sienna Medina. She's a sophomore, and we pulled her up as an 8th grader, and she mostly played JV, but she played a little bit of varsity as well. She is leading Class 3A in assists. She's over 500 by now, and she just has beautiful hands. And there's just good chemistry amongst all the girls, so that makes it really nice. Tyra Horner, she's a junior outside hitter and defensive specialist. She plays all the way around as well. And she's the one that brings the fire to the team. She's brings the energy, gets everybody pumped up. So we just love her energy. And she does a great job for us. Brianna Montoya, who was our libero, I believe she's 4th in digs in Class 3A. But her serve reception, she has just improved so much. She has worked so hard, from last year to this year, and she's really doing a wonderful job for us. She's definitely a leader on the court for us. And then we have, some younger girls. We have Malie Satete, and she also goes by Moogie. She's a tremendous softball player. She actually broke the New Mexico State softball record for most home runs hit, regardless of class, as an 8th grader.
Yeah.
Yes, which is amazing. And so, but she's really coming into her own as a volleyball player. She, last year was basically her first year playing. We pulled her up as an 8th grader. She got a decent amount of varsity time, but you really see how she's growing every week and becoming a volleyball player. And so that's exciting for us as well. So, so those are, some of our top players. We have Naomi Mora, who's our senior middle blocker. She leads our team in blocks, and she's really come along. We started with her when I started four seasons ago, and just every year she's improved, and she's doing some great things for us.
Coach, you were a former Las Vegas Robertson Cardinal. We had to mention that because that's akin down in the north to the Hatfields and the Boys, and I say that very respectfully because it's a healthy rivalry. It's a rivalry. Yes. There's no doubt about it. But I got a quote from Richard Tripp: organized, detailed, and prepared. Best 3 words to describe her. She knows how to coach outside the box, and it shows in how the team responds to her. It's business and at the same time fun, which I think is a great quote. Wow. Richard, Coach Tripp's been around a long time. I've got the utmost respect for him. He's a very, very good friend.
Yes,
he knows athletics, man, and to be around it, and I got to say that. It's a privilege for me to be around athletes, and I feel it sometimes. I used to officiate high school ball, coach. I played, so I feel that sometimes. Can't play anymore, but it never goes away. That kind of feeling still runs deep. Yes. And so I think Coach Tripp was very, very happy that you came there. But talk a little bit about that, being a former Cardinal, man, and now a Don, and in Las Vegas, man. You're either one or the other, and it runs deep, man. It runs deep, and it does. But talk a little bit about that.
It does. And I'm not sure if you are familiar with the history of what I went through at Robertson.
A little bit.
We don't have to go into detail.
Right.
So I went through a very challenging time, and it was very, very difficult for me. It wasn't my choice to leave, but I went through some things that definitely challenged me to, the fullest. And so I just, I was going through some legal stuff with them, and I decided I was going to stay in town. I wasn't going to be run off, and I was going to stay as I was fighting my legal battles. And then that's when I saw that the West job opened, and I thought, you know what, I'm ready to get back into coaching. That's what I love to do. So why not give it a shot? And it has been the biggest blessing for me. And so I'm just grateful every day. I've met the best people. Like you say, Coach Tripp, he has been just wonderful with me. Everyone has been very supportive, and the girls, we have a great relationship, and we enjoy each other, and we have fun. We do have fun. At the same time, like Coach Tripp said, we need to take care of business, but we there's good chemistry, and we've worked hard to get where we're at. Don't get me wrong. It hasn't, it's been a lot of hard work that we've put in the last 4 years. And we started from the very bottom and have slowly worked our way up. So it's exciting for us.
I think that's even more, rewarding. I do. And look, I read a little bit about it. You're right. We don't need to get into details, but sometimes when, school boards or people get involved and look, it happened. You're at West Las Vegas. That's good. And I got to say this, though, that sometimes when those things happen, it happened to a friend of mine in Alamogordo, Ron Geyer. He coached at Alamogordo. Was a heck of a coach, man. He really was. One of the best basketball coaches in the state's ever seen.
Right.
Somebody didn't like him there, and he went to Los Lunas. Girls succeeded. St. Mike's boys. And I think, again, one door closes and another.
Yes.
And the best thing is, like you said, you stayed there. And there's and look, let's be honest. There's some people there that I'm sure are still mad that you're succeeding, and that's sad for them. That really is, because it's like get a life, man.
Right.
Then we're going to keep a good coach like you down, and then be able to go, tutor, mentor other young ladies. You know how important that is.
Yes.
I mean, that lasts for life. I still have. I coached, at Highland and some AAU ball, and I still got my guys, man, that still reach out to me and say, and it was more about life than it was basketball. They weighed me down, but those are the lessons. So they didn't keep you down. So hey, you're right. You're enjoying it, and you're with good people. You're with good people, man. So hey, I think the best thing is success. So whoever's upset, get a life, man. That's what I say. I'm only touching the edges here because we don't want to get into too much of that. Why look back when you're having the success you're at a good place. Look, you got the Dons at 17-2, and I know Coach Tripp has to be very, very. Coach Tripp and I talk whenever we can. He's a busy man, but when him and I talk, it's like an hour whenever we can, because like I said, we're very good friends. But, you mentioned it, building that program. And I think volleyball fascinates me because when I'm at Western, sometimes we're playing really well. And then sometimes the next set, and the coach up there, Gino Fragoli, calls it messy sets. The ball will carry them off. I mean, service errors on our own, right? And then sometimes the blocking is just everything comes together. So I think it's a great game. So just talk a little bit about how you built it there, because, we hear from basketball, softball, reps, this and that. How did you build the program to where it's at now? Because you said you started at the bottom, like where you're at now.
Right.
Talk about the reps and the things you did to build the program to where it's at now.
Yes, definitely. So we, when we came in, the girls, and we actually, came in off of the COVID year where they didn't play that year prior. So the skills were even, lower than they would have been if they would have played the season before. So we did, just a ton of reps, a lot of skill drills where they just had all that repetition. We start our, in that first season, it was a little tough getting through. But we, I knew that if we just continued to work hard and get those reps in, we would eventually start improving. And so every year we start our off season in April. We start in April and we go from April throughout the summer until the season starts. So we offer something the entire summer for those that can make it. We do have a lot of multi-sport athletes. And so, it's hard because some are doing, a lot of play on softball team, basketball, all these other things, track. And so, but we always had the gym open for those that could make it, that weren't participating in those sports. And, I think just finding, drills that have a reason to that, not just going through the motions, but you have to be doing something that you're going to see improvement in. So, finding drills that are going to work for us, that are game-like, and then getting those repetitions in was huge. So it's basically been 4 summers of just, nonstop offering something for the girls to take advantage of, really.
You got a great setter. You mentioned Sienna Medina,
Yes.
over 500 assists. I see how important that is
Yes.
at Western New Mexico. I see that. We've got a
Yes.
setter that's pretty darn good. And then
Yeah.
she's a lefty. Once in a while, she'll act like she's going to set and then smash it over. So
Right.
it's a very, I think it's a great game. I love to watch. I really,
Yes.
I get to call sports up there at Western, but and I didn't cover a lot of volleyball before that, but it's a great sport. It really is.
Yes.
And then you see those young ladies and just giving their all, the pancake
Yes.
digs, diving on the floor, man.
Right.
So they want to win as much as any guy does. So anybody
Right.
that thinks they're going to put it out there too. I just love competition, though.
Yeah.
I really do, especially at the
Yes.
amateur level, because
Yes.
they're not getting paid right now. Look at the colleges.
Right.
Some guys are getting $1 million, $2 million. It's crazy to
Wow.
me that the way things are
Right.
going, and if they can
Right.
sustain it, we'll see.
Yes.
But you've had a great background just in being in Las Vegas and coaching. You mentioned it at Robertson and now at West Las Vegas. You've got a couple of games left, and one of them looms large. You've got Valerie Sandoval runs a great program at St. Mike's.
Yes.
She's won
Yes.
a couple state. I interviewed her a couple years ago when
Right.
they won the state championship, and
Yes.
much respect to Coach Sandoval. They're ranked number
Absolutely.
1, and you're ranked number 2. Now they swept you earlier in the season. Valley beat you. Those are the only 2 losses all year, and
Right.
and so. But again, you got a couple of games, a couple of matches before then, and it's
Yes.
hard not to look ahead. But what was it about that first one that in St. Mike's that's on October 17th, September 17th? Or was that October? September.
Yes.
Oh, October
It was
17th.
October. Yes.
Yeah, just about a week ago. Was it about a week ago or so? 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that match, because people are going to be really looking forward to the one November 6th in Santa Fe. So tell us a little bit about the one.
So on
that
the
you,
6th,
played.
the 6th, we will actually play at our gym. So that's going to be a home match for us.
Okay. Yeah, my mistake. Tell us a little bit about the match you played against them.
I thought we started out great. We were pretty much going point for point with them, which in the past we hadn't been able to do. We kind of, in the past they could get a 5-point lead from the get-go, and then we were just always trying to play catch up. So this year, I felt like my girls were fighting. We were communicating. We had a few little issues with the setters and hitters. I think there was some miscommunication on the sets that the hitters were wanting, and then the sets that my setter was setting. So we're trying to fine tune that a little bit. And we were actually up 22-21 in the first set, and then we lost the next straight 4 points. And I think basically what it came down to, were there were some unforced errors that we were really trying to cut back on. And then we start to play a little too tentative. Once we get blocked a few times or things aren't going our way, then we start playing it a little more safe. So that's what we're trying to work on. And, I want my girls to keep swinging, because that's the only way that, we're going to have a chance to beat St. Mike's, is to keep playing, basically to find that balance where we're still being aggressive, but minimizing our errors. And so we just got to really get our consistency where it needs to be.
The mental part, I think that's something. Did you mention that now? I see that happen with our team at Western. They're right there. We played Angelo State about a week ago. Right there, man. Right there.
Yeah.
Hyde
Yeah.
and Angelo State's a good team. And then a couple of the mental errors, and that kind of sent us a couple of service aces by them, right in between 2 players, and they didn't communicate.
Right.
So talk a little bit about the mental part about that. What do you tell your players? And it's something that's repetition wise. You got to work on it. It
Yes.
happens. So
Yes.
everybody's got a different mental approach to basketball, football.
Yes.
So what's your mental approach to your players in volleyball when they make those mental errors? They happen, right? They happen. But what is your message to them? Yeah.
It's going to happen. And, I try to stay as positive as I can. And I want the girls to stay as positive with each other because it is going to happen. And so, there have been a few times when the girls do kind of get on each other, especially when your emotions are so high and it's such a tight game. And so I have to pull them aside and say, hey, we need to stay positive. We need to lift each other up. And so, and what I say is we're not trying to make mistakes. We're not trying to mess up. So think of how that person feels that just made the error. If we're going to come down on them, it's not going to help our team. So we need to stay positive. And then from that point forward, we don't think about that point again. And we look forward to the next one.
Coach, you got the nails, man, the matching nails.
Yeah. I
saw them. We got to show that. You're a Don.
These are my lucky nails. Man. I am.
Yeah.
I bleed green now.
Hey, man, I saw that and I was like, we have to show those, we definitely have to show those. My granddaughter will paint her nails once in a while. I'm like, no, honey, Grandpa won't do that. Sorry. Grandpa will do a lot of things, but Grandpa won't do that.
But not that.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of things Grandpa will do, just about anything for his little sweetheart. But man, that's a bridge too far, at least for me. But Coach, it's been a great having you on. We're gonna wrap this up in about a minute or so because you got a class. But tell us, I'm impressed, Coach. I'm glad we had you on.
Thank you so much.
You're a positive role model for those kids, those young ladies in Las Vegas. They, every kids need that, right? They need someone to believe in them, right?
Yes.
To encourage them outside the sports thing, because I know it's more than they see you at school, right?
Yes.
They see you. So
right.
That influence on a daily basis is so important. I remember seeing coaches that I really respected and liked, and it was more than just say, hey, Eddie, how you doing? Or Ed, how's it going today? That meant a lot. And so I think your communication on a daily basis to them is invaluable. So tell us, again, you got the match with St. Mike's, and you got some other ones before that. You've got Santa Fe Prep, Robertson, and then St. Mike's and Santa Fe Indian. A quick season, then you close it out. And then before you know it, the tournament's here. What's it going to take for the Dons to take home the blue trophy?
Again, I think it's going to be consistency. I honestly don't feel like we've put a complete match together with all of our players. I don't even think it's been close to our potential. And so I think we just really need to fine tune the things that we're lacking right now. And if everybody's on and of course, like we talked, there are going to be errors, it's going to happen, but if we can minimize those, I truly believe that we have a shot. So
Coach Stacy Fulgenzi, the coach of the West Las Vegas Volleyball Dons, they're ranked second in the state with a record of 17-2 and a district record of 3-1. We sure appreciate you being our guest today on the Sports Desk.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
You bet. For producer Alden Iwani, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next week on the Sports Desk.